Hi, my name's John, and I'm one of the web guys. I'd like to tell you about our amazing product that I'm certain you'll love. There are lots of companies out there who offer website and business tools, from the very cheap do-it-yourself to the very expensive bespoke products. What we offer at the Web Guys is a unique package that we're sure will cater to all your business's needs. We'll deliver a world-class website that's created specifically for you and your business and with everything you need to manage it. It's so simple. All you have to do is choose a look and we'll do everything else. We'll design, build, set up and customize your website for you. You'll get that agency quality product from £29.99 a month and with no upfront fees to pay. To take advantage of our fantastic product, go to www.thewebguys.co.uk and simply click the Sign Up Now button and follow the instructions, which will only take a few minutes of your valuable time. Once you're done, you'll get all this plus lots more, and from only £29.99 per month. So, what are you waiting for?
Good morning, everyone. Can you believe it? It's been another week. It's Wednesday morning. It's 10 o'clock. It's time for our Wednesday Live in Conversation with. And I have the pleasure of being joined by Heidi Setchfield this morning from Heidi Setchfield Services. Morning, Heidi. Thank you very much for joining me and taking the time to come live with me today.
Morning, Brian. So thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here.
Great. It's a big day for us today. We are actually streaming not just on Facebook and YouTube, but we are also live on LinkedIn for the first time ever. So you are helping us pop in our LinkedIn live cherry this morning.
Fabulous.
So we're going to talk about VAs, VA services and all that kind of stuff, because there's a lot like myself who does lots of networking. We get around the circuit, lots of different types of networking, and we run into quite a few VAs, and often you don't really get to speak to them, and they just get like 40 seconds a minute to sort of cover what it is that they do. So I just wanted to sort of have a bit of a broader chat about what is actually a VA, what's the point of a VA, what do you do, how can you help me as a business owner, because like small business owner, we're always busy, we never have enough time, we always run out of time. So that's really what I would like for us to cover today, if you like.
No, of course not. So virtual assistants come in many different forms. You get VAs like myself that focus on the general admin and higher level executive assistant support. You get virtual assistants that are tech VAs, so they can do all the behind the scenes work for you with your funnels, with your marketing. They can help you set up email automations. They can even do work on your website. And there are some VAs out there that I know that even do websites. You can get social management VAs, so all they purely focus on is social media for clients. So we come in many guises. And as I said just now, I'm more of a general admin VA. So I've got a 20-year background being a personal assistant and executive assistant to some really high-level directors, both in the public and private sector. And for me, I love organization. I literally am a productivity ninja. So when I set the business up, it was to help those business owners that wear many hats. You know, you wear a marketing hat, you wear a finance hat, you wear a director hat. So what I do is help take the pressure off by ensuring that those tasks that you simply don't have time for, you simply don't enjoy doing, or the tasks that you want taken care of. So these are things like your timesheets, your expenses, you know, using systems. They are email management, diary management. Just even taking off email management from one client can save them so much time, and it allows them to focus on their zone of genius and just show up and deliver what they need to do to bring in that income.
Sounds like it sounds great, but it sounds like a bit of a minefield if you are sort of venturing out to try and find a VA, because if there's so many different branches to it, you know, how do you actually find the one that you're looking for? I suppose a Google search is one way,
You can do a Google search and you will get lots of VAs pop on there. But what I say to anybody that's looking to hire a VA is take some time and write a list of all those jobs that you don't like doing, the ones that you procrastinate about, the ones that you put to the bottom of your list, the ones that aren't income generating, and try and time how long it takes you to do them. And then you've got a list, you kind of roughly know what sort of virtual assistant you're looking for. And I would always say to speak to 3 or 4 different people. Don't just interview one VA. You have to make sure that you find the right person, that you've got that rapport with, that you feel that you can trust them, because at the end of the day, we come in, and with most of my clients, I am the forefront of their business. I'm the one that's dealing with their inquiries. So it's really, really important that you have that trust that they are going to represent your business as you would represent it. And sometimes that can be really difficult to find. You may pick up the phone or have a Zoom call and you may just instantly click with somebody. The other thing when you're looking for a VA that I would highly recommend making sure they've got is ICO registration. There's so many people out there that don't know what ICO registration is, that think it's a scam, but it's there for your protection and their protection to make sure that the data they're handling is correct.
You just want to explain to the world what is ICO registration. I know what it is, because we have to because of our toolbox system. So
yeah, so effectively ICO is the GDPR regulation. So if you are handling data in any form of your clients, so whether that be their name, email address, their telephone number, their home address, then it's important that you register with them as a data controller. It's not expensive, depending on the size of your business. I think I pay £40 a year. And if you subscribe to a direct debit, they reduce that to £35 a year for you. And it is something that I recommend to everybody. I hold it every year. I've got my registration certificate that I'm happy to send to clients. The other thing to make sure they've got is insurance. I have not just public indemnity insurance, but I have also liability, because I work with some clients on site, and I have full cyber insurance as well to make sure that my data is fully protected.
Sure. So that sort of brought me onto a question that was sort of creeping into me. So I know the title VA virtual assistants, but does that mean that you are always sat remote, or do you actually go into people's premises and work from there as well?
So you will get some VAs that are fully remote. Although that's how I set my business up, there are some clients that just need that on-site support. So last year I spent a week in Liverpool working at a client's office. They needed their office fully revamping, a proper archive and filing system put in place. So I spent a week on site with them in Liverpool. And then I have another client that was exhibiting at Womani Fest in Manchester. So that was just a year ago. It was just before COVID hit last year, and she was promoting the launch of her book and delivering some workshops. So I went with her to support her on the stand. I helped her develop all of the workbooks while she was delivering the workshop. I literally manned her stand for her. But I've been working with her for over a year, so it's been built up over that long-term relationship. But yes, some virtual assistants will be fully remote, some will work on site depending on the work that is needed. And I do on-site minute taking as well. So
right, okay. So you sort of said that you've sort of historically done more sort of high level personal assistance and all that kind of stuff. So to tell me more, so how does that work in practice? So if I needed some sort of an assistance, how does that work?
How does that work? So what I do with all of my clients, we have a discovery call. We look at and we talk about the support that they're looking for. And then I use a password management system called LastPass. So it's a password vault where any passwords that are shared with me through my client are stored in there. So they're not on a piece of paper, they're not on my phone, they're not in an email. And we share data that way. My clients set me up with an email account registered to their business, so that any interaction I'm having with their clients comes from their business, not my business. Cool. Some of my clients feature me on their website as their admin support or virtual assistant or executive assistant. It's whatever my clients like to refer to me as. With one client, I'm a project and support manager, but all of the work that I do for them is done on their system. So I represent their business and not my business.
Oh, that sounds really cool. So for anyone who watches this, if you have any questions about VAs, any specific sort of support and help that you're looking for, perhaps even help determining what kind of help and support you sort of need in your business, please ask the questions, connect with Heidi. You can see her website down here in the ticker, and you can connect with her on Facebook and LinkedIn from there, and obviously have a conversation with Heidi. If anyone pops up with questions here, we'll do our utmost to try and answer them. If we can't answer them, then we'll come back to you with an answer later. So this pandemic thing, I suppose, is still all this stuff about being on site, really, and
Yes.
everything is much more virtual. So do you do a lot of sort of working with your clients now through Zoom or these kinds of things then?
Yes, yeah. So I support all of my clients, a lot of them through Zoom. So as I just said, I do on-site minute taking, but through the pandemic, every meeting has moved to online. So if I can't be at the meeting, then they record it and send me the recording. But if my time is available, then I will literally log into the meeting and support them through Zoom. I'll be in the background taking the notes of the minutes. I've supported a lot of my clients go on where they've been developing training courses and webinars throughout the pandemic. So I sit behind the scenes making sure that everybody's got the links. If there's any questions, that I can answer them for them, and just providing general routine tech support to make sure that it runs smoothly, helping them with breakout rooms and that type of thing. So yes, yeah.
Now, one of the things I was going to ask you, because one of the negatives about our industries is there's very little regulation, and we're not really sort of under a body of organization and sort of standards. Is there, because I've seen quite a few VAs under certain umbrellas, like franchises and stuff like that. Do you have to fall under some sort of an accreditation or?
No, unfortunately not. You can become an accredited VA through the Association of Virtual Assistants, and you can also register with the Society of Virtual Assistants. But overall, the industry is not regulated at all. So anybody can set up as a VA, and they can provide the work to their client. And that's why I was saying it's very important that you have a call with more than one person to make sure that they're the right person. Make sure you're asking the right questions. For me, when I look to outsource, I have a list of questions that I ask, and those are, especially around ICO and insurance, that is the biggest thing that you'll find, especially in the VA world. I always want to make sure that my clients are happy. I sign non-disclosure agreements with my clients because of the types of businesses that they're in. Not all VAs do that, but no, the industry isn't regulated. There are seminars every year. There are awards. So every year the East Midlands, so there's a VA award company that offer VAs awards, and you go through an application process, but it's not regulated like the finance industry and things like that. No.
I think you won an award, didn't you?
I won 2. Yes. Yeah. So I won 2 awards. So earlier this year, I was announced as East Midlands VA of the Year, which was phenomenal. And then I came runner-up as England VA of the Year as a result of the first award. So absolutely amazing. Was absolutely gobsmacked. I was actually in a call with a client when I got the email to say that I'd won. So it was great. And there are other awards out there. A couple of years ago, I entered the Peterborough Small Business Awards. I came highly commended as the New Business of the Year. But yes, there are lots of different awards out there. But for me, I just wanted to focus specifically on the VA of the Year awards.
I suppose it's one of them things, isn't it? It's like, as a small business owner, you need to do your due diligence. You need to do your, your little research. And I suppose it's about asking for their CVs, and then actually taking the time to drill down and calling the people in the CV and ask for those recommendations.
Yes.
I got some lovely feedback and testimonials on your website and on your social media pages. So that obviously helps.
It does. I mean, I don't have a CV as such. If I'm talking to a client, I generally go through my background and my history. If somebody asks me for a CV, I kind of think, well, it's not an employed role. I'm an outsourced member of the team. But yeah, testimonials and reviews from clients are really, really important. And as you said, I've got a few on my website. I share them regularly on my social media. And it just gives the people that are looking that extra boost of confidence. And I don't hide. If my clients ask me to not put their names, then I don't. But most of my clients are happy for me to put their names so that they can see that they are genuine reviews from genuine people.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I always say to anyone, don't be shy about opening up for people to post reviews on whatever platform you're on, whether that's on Google or Facebook, wherever. And because people are so scared of not having these 5 gold stars and all that kind of stuff. But I find that in reality, that's not real. That's not how the world works. You know, we're all humans, and sometimes, even though we try our hardest to get everything as right as we can all the time, sometimes things just gets a little bit wrong, and we make mistakes, don't we? So
yeah,
it's not about how. It's not the mistakes you make; it's how you then fix the mistakes you make after. And so I think having perhaps not bad reviews, but perhaps neutral reviews that your audience can read, I actually think that's a positive thing, because it actually shows the world, well, actually, Brian, he made a mistake, he was human, but I can see from the review that came in after that he fixed it really well.
Yeah.
Type thing. So I think the testimonials and review, and I think especially in company structures and industries like ours, where we really aren't very regulated, the testimonials is our regulation, really, because that's the world telling the world, these guys, they're great. If they get it wrong, they fix it, type thing.
Definitely, you know, and it's like you said, we are all humans. People do make mistakes. And for me, you know, if I've ever made a mistake on a piece of work for a client, I've always owned up to it. I've never tried to hide it. And then I fix it. And you know, as a VA, when clients work with me, generally they buy blocks of hours so that I track all of their time and they can see where it's being spent. So if I do make a mistake, that mistake is put right at my expense and they don't pay for it. And like you, it's always best to be honest. You know, don't cover it. If you're going to miss a deadline, at least be honest and say that you're going to miss it. I think it's so important to communication when working with somebody, even as an employee or an outsourced member of the team, is so important.
Completely, I couldn't agree more. So that actually, you sort of led into the next thing I was going to ask you. So what's the normal way of buying a VA services? Do you is it a monthly retainer, or how does it work?
VA, you know, for me, I have monthly retainer packages. So I work with quite a few clients and they have a rough idea of what they need on a month-to-month basis. So their time is protected. So they buy hours on a retained basis, and that can range from 5 hours a month upwards. And they know that their work is guaranteed to get done in a set time that we agree, and that's great. They pay for that time up front because it is protected. I also offer an ad hoc package, so if clients just need a one-off piece of work, then they can pay me as an ad hoc piece of work to do that. And there are some VAs that just offer ad hoc rates. They don't offer retainer packages. So as what I was saying earlier, we all work differently. But for me, to make sure that I can fit everything in and I know what I need to get done, I think all of my clients work with me on a retained basis, and they get an up-to-date email. If they want updates at the end of every week on how many hours they've got left, then I can provide that. And my tracking software actually shows to the second where their time has been spent.
I was going to ask if you're using some sort of a time tracking piece of software that people can sort of go and have a look at to see where they are in the cycle.
Yes, yeah. So it's an app called Toggle. So I have access to it. My clients don't have access to it, but I can download and export information from it in CSV or PDF, and that can be sent over to them. After time, because I've built that relationship with them, it's not very often that they get asked for, but I've always got it just in case.
Sure. No, that makes sense. So are you happy to share with us your packages, the cost of them and what's involved?
Of course, yeah. So I've got a couple of different packages. So I offer a power hour, which is where somebody just needs to speak to somebody to speak to me. It's a virtually organized power hour, and I can help them with anything in that hour organization wise, or even email marketing. I use MailerLite. So if they need help with MailerLite, that's £79, and they can book that directly through my website using the Calendly link. For VA packages, I have 10 hours, which is £300. 20 hours, which is $580, 30 hours at $870, and then 40 hours at $1,160. So you can see as they buy more hours, my rate gets lower. Yeah. My ad hoc rate is £35. Now, there are some VAs out there that are my rate is my rate. It doesn't matter whether you're buying 10 hours or 30 hours, you will still pay my rate. But for me, I like to reward the loyalty that my clients are giving me. So I do offer kind of reduced rates on that. And then I do some specific bespoke work in project management and operational management. So if clients are looking for more intense support, then I offer project management and operational management. And that starts from about £1,200 a month, because it's more in depth and more intense support that they need.
I think for everyone watching this, either now live or later on, because obviously these streams, they stay on LinkedIn, they stay on YouTube and on Facebook, so you can watch them in your own time after. The prices you just mentioned there are definitely cheaper than hiring someone, because obviously you don't have to think about pension contributions and NIs.
That's it. Yeah, there's no sick pay. You don't pay me for breaks. You've got no national insurance, no payee. You literally pay me for the time that I work on my project. And yes, on paper it can look more expensive than hiring somebody, but when you sit down and work out the costs, what I can get done in an hour, because my time is so focused, is usually a lot more than other people can get done. We all work at very different paces, but if you don't need me for 7.5 hours of the day, you're not paying me for 7.5 hours. You're paying me for the 1 or 2 hours that you need me.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely get that. And it's definitely, for a business, it's a cheaper option than to hire someone else.
You also don't, sorry, Brian. I was going to say, you also don't have to think of finding me a space in your office or finding me a PC, all of the other types of things that come with it.
And I think there's another element to that as well, because when you hire someone on a permanent basis, it's a massive commitment, because you're taking on more than just the cost of the person. You're taking on bringing that person into your business, which for a lot of us is our baby. So taking someone into your baby, and you feel responsible for them, like you do for everyone else around you in your sort of your family, or because let's be honest, our businesses is part of our families when we have smaller businesses. So it's a massive commitment to take someone in, and you feel responsible for them. So there's that. It also makes it really, really difficult to hire someone, because you're going to feel that level of responsibility. It's so important to hire the right person, because this is going to sound horrible. You're sort of stuck with them if you don't like them.
That's it. I mean, when you hire an employee, there is generally a probationary period, within their contract, and you have, if they've passed that with flying colours and then their work starts slipping, you have a whole HR process to go through, and that can take time, and it's very documented. You have to document the task that they were supposed to do by the time they were supposed to have done it. With VAs, in my contracts, all of my clients have 30 days notice. So if they want to end the contract, then they have 30 days to do it. So if, when COVID hit last year, most of the clients that I was supporting were face-to-face therapists, were, those in the health and wellbeing industry, and they were really hit hard. So we scaled it back, and, I reduced their retainers. I supported them where I could. But if I was an employee, they would have all that extra worry of, oh my God, can I furlough them? Can I keep their job? And more people are actually looking to VAs to help them with these types of things, because it's the safe knowledge that, yes, they've got this money going out every month. Yes, but I'm a business owner as well. So I get where they're coming from. I wholly get that it's their baby. This business is my baby, and I represent it. But in the same way that I represent my clients and their business, I treat it as my business, because that's how I would like it to be done.
Oh, absolutely. And so I'm not trying to discourage anyone from employing someone.
No.
But I think I'm a big fan of the VA and the VA role, and I think it's a fantastic intermediate step. If you think that you have a need to hire someone into your business, I think the VA is a fantastic person to step in first to see, well, actually, do we need someone in this role full-time, permanently going forward? I think someone like yourself to come in, perhaps provide a service for 6 months to a year to prove to us as a business owner, yeah, you do need that person to come in and lift that load for you. Then that's a very easy and non-committal way of actually trying that out without actually having to seriously commit to it. Because
Definitely. And I mean, with me, the way that I work as well, you know, if I'm working with a client and a few months down the line, they say, actually, I really think I need somebody full time, I can help them document the processes of all of the work that I do. I can create whatever you know, I refer to them as standing operating procedures. Some of them refer to them as admin Bibles, you know, whatever you want to refer to it as. But I can create that step-by-step guide so that when they bring somebody in, that there is a handover there. I can work with them as a handover, but there is a document there that they can always refer back to, so they can go, oh, okay, I need to set up an event. So how do I get into Eventbrite? How do I link it with Zoom? How do I do this? And it would just literally give them that step-by-step guidelines.
That. Absolutely love that. I think that's the downfall of a lot of small businesses, is that they perhaps don't feel they have the time to create. I call them SOPs.
Yeah.
And once they've done, they're the lifeblood of your business, because it actually means, as a business owner, that you can step out of the business and leave something to it, because they have the blueprint of how to do things.
Yeah, it also helps with succession planning, and it also helps if you're heavily reliant on one person doing a role, and you know that one person goes out and gets hit by that proverbial bus and nobody knows what to do. There is a major downfall there. You know, if that person is responsible for the invoicing of your business and you don't know how it's done, you could potentially lose out on thousands, because you don't know, or you'll be scrapping about trying to figure out how to do it, and inevitably a mistake will get made. So they are so important for businesses, whether you're a 1 or 2 man band right up to full 100, 150 type people, because they, like you said, they are the lifeblood. They're there. They give you that blueprint and duplicate as well. You know, it's duplication.
Absolutely. They're a vital part of certainly growing your business, you know. I couldn't, so to hear you just say that and the stuff that you do, I think that's absolutely wonderful. And again, for everyone watching this, if you don't have an SOP in your business and you're struggling to find the time, please get in contact with Heidi, because once he's done that piece of work for you, you will never ever regret it. It'll be the best money you've ever laid out.
And that's it. They're live documents, so they can be created on something like Google Drive. And if the process change, it's literally just go in and update it. It's a live document that should always be reviewed.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Listen, Heidi, it's been absolutely brilliant having you on here with me today. I know you're really busy. We've been on air for almost half an hour now. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Heidi, to everyone who sort of come and falls upon this stream today. Please go to Heidi's website, connect with her on LinkedIn and Facebook if you're not already. If you have any questions or any need from a VA, even if it's not Heidi you need, then I'm sure Heidi will be more than happy to guide you towards some VAs that you know, Heidi, that provide service that you perhaps don't do.
Yes, yeah, I know. Obviously, the VA world is quite a small world, although it's getting bigger. But yeah, I have a network of people. So I don't offer social media, but I know somebody that does. And I don't offer tech support, but I know somebody that does. So yeah, if they're struggling to find somebody, then I'm sure I could help them find the right person.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much for joining me, Heidi. Sorry, we're just about run up to half an hour. So thank you very much. And thank you for everyone watching this. Please join me again next Wednesday, where I will be joined by the wonderful Tony Pratt. If you haven't met Tony before, please make sure to join in, because he's absolutely fantastic. He used to be a police officer. Now he's in the utility world, in the financial world, and all sorts. And he won't mind me saying he's the right character. We're going to have a great laugh and a great time. So please come and join me again next Wednesday at 10 o'clock when we go live again. Thank you very much, Heidi. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you again later this afternoon when we network together.
You will. And thank you very much for having me. It's been really great fun.
Thank you. So thank you, everyone. And we shall see you again soon.